might call a hijab.
Muslim women in Islam wear a head covering or a special type of dress. So it's more than just covering your hair. It's a code of conduct as well. And this symbolizes our religion. It symbolizes the honor that a woman has. It also symbolizes her status. It's a protection.
Hijab is a modest appearance. For a Muslim woman, hijab can come in many different forms. It is modesty in clothing in a way that I think the focus is on inside, on intelligence, on personality and character, and not on outward beauty that is something we can't control necessarily.
Modesty, as an Islamic concept, applies to both men and women. The Qur'an clearly commands men and women to lower their gaze, to be modest, to guard their chastity.
I knew that in this religion, modesty is part of it. And that's one of the things, another one of the reasons why I chose to become Muslim, is because before 14, I was living a life where I guess appearance meant a lot. And I was thrown into a lot of modeling competitions. And there would be times when I'd be walking on a runway up and down, and these men would just be looking at me with a judgmental eye, measuring your measurements like you're an object. And I don't feel that anyone should ever be treated that way. And I don't feel that women should put themselves in that situation, because it's degrading and it's demonizing, and I don't see any freedom in a situation like that. The ultimate freedom for me was wearing the hijab, and it made me become my own person. It made other people view me by my intellect and by my heart and what I had to say and who I was as a person. And I think that was the most enlightening thing that could have ever happened to me.
A common misconception is that Islam compels Muslim women to dress the way they do. Muslim women and men have the freedom to live their lives as they please. Freedom of conscience is central to Islam. There can be no compulsion in religion.
I never felt like my being Muslim could stop me from doing anything I wanted to do, such as playing sports, going outdoors, going shopping, driving a car, anything like that.
There are other roles for women laid out in Islam. Marriage, motherhood, education, and being an active participant in society are all roles discussed in Islam. The Islamic marriage is a sacred contract between a willing woman and a willing man. There can be no coercion. In other words, women cannot be forced to marry against their will. In addition to this protection of rights, the bride has the right to include in the marriage contract any conditions she feels necessary as a means of protecting her rights.
In Islam, a woman does have the right to choose who she's going to marry. It's very important for her to be part of that choice, because ultimately she's the one who's going to be living with that person and enjoying life with that person. When a woman gets married, she gets something called a mahr, or a marital gift from her husband, and nobody is allowed to touch that. Her father doesn't get it, her husband doesn't get it, nobody is allowed to touch that money, and that is solely hers, and she can invest it. She can invest it in property, she can invest it in businesses, she can use it for whichever, as a nest egg even, and that's something that she's always had the right to have.
Motherhood is another important role for women in Islam. Having children, educating and raising them as good human beings is the responsibility of both parents.
As a mother, in my role, I see myself, my primary role is to ensure that my child or my children understand Islamic codes. in terms of their belief. They understand who they are, they're educated, and they understand who we are, what our role is, where we come from, and where we're going. And that this life is only temporal, and that there's a hereafter. I think these are the most important things for me to instill, in my children.
A man once came to Prophet Muhammad and asked, "O Messenger of God, who among the people is most worthy of my companionship?" The Prophet replied, "Your mother." The man then asked again, "Who next?" The Prophet replied, "Your mother." The man repeated the question and got the same answer. The man asked a fourth time, "Who next?" Only then did the Prophet reply, "Your father."
In Islam, our parents have a right for our loyalty, for our respect. Our parents, we must listen to our parents and do exactly what they say when they say it, if it's within the Islamic, and if it's appropriate, within the religion. But they have that right, and we should listen to them and we should obey them. And I think one of the most poignant things for me in Islam is that paradise is at the feet of your mother. I mean, what a beautiful way to express how important our parents are. If you want to find the true way to righteousness, if you want to find the way to your Lord, do what your mother says.
It is a right of children to be provided a stable and loving home. It is also their right to pursue an education. Islam requires both men and women to pursue an education. Islam also requires of women that they should be active participants in society, working towards peace and justice.
Islam treats men and women equally. They are different, and they have different roles and different duties and responsibilities, but those duties and responsibilities are equal. I can't say that all Muslim men and Muslim women treat each other equally. I see the more people deviate from what has been prescribed by God to follow, the more there is not equality in the sexes.
In some areas of the world, Muslim women are prevented from fully participating in society. Many of those women are speaking out and asserting their right, their responsibility to participate fully in every aspect of society. Muslim women work today for the good of society as activists, entrepreneurs, health professionals, homemakers, leaders, mothers, scholars, scientists, social workers, and teachers. Muslim women excel in all fields, not in spite of their religious convictions, but because of them.